Hey everyone, I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures. In this video, we're gonna talk about buying a Gladiator. There's a lot of models to pick from that Jeep has thrown out there. Some make sense for specific reasons, some make no sense at all. As you can see, I mean, if you've watched the channel, we own two Gladiators. My 2021 Gladiator Rubicon, my wife's 2023 Gladiator Rubicon. Clearly we love Rubicons. And I'll get into the why of that too. But Gladiators are still super popular. There's people posting rumors about Gladiators being discontinued and all that sort of stuff. I don't think that's true. I think it's just clickbait. Gladiator is still a very hot mid-sized truck. And for people that are serious about off-roading and overlanding, it's, in my opinion, it's the best choice. I can make a solid case for the ZR2 Bison. If you're going to keep it stock. The ZR2 Bison is friggin' awesome. But I still think the Gladiator is awesomer, more awesome. So what we're going to do, I've got my office set up here on my tailgate, and we're going to go through the different models of the Gladiators, discuss their pros and cons, which one you should get for which reason, why we chose what we chose, and hopefully help you make a good decision in buying one. I have no affiliation with Jeep. We are not sponsored by Jeep. I just love Jeeps. So, and lots of people do. So I like to be helpful. Let's go. Let's get into a couple things. If you just want a Gladiator because you think a Gladiator is cool, you have no intentions of taking it off-road, get whichever one you like. When it comes to the base models, and what I'm calling the base models, that's the Sport S, the Nighthawk, and the Willys, or the Willis. They're all the base models. They're all a version of the Sport. If you just are looking for a Gladiator to have a Gladiator, if it were me, I would buy a Sport S with the max tow package. Gets you the wide track axles, it gets you the 410 gears, it gets you limited slip differential, it gets you the 230, 240, the bigger alternator. You can get all the creature comforts you want. You can get painted match fenders. I mean, you can get all the options in that. That's what I would do. It's a great Gladiator. New versus used. I absolutely positively would not buy a used modified Gladiator unless I knew the owner, knew what parts went into it, and who did the installs. Because if you are buying a modified Gladiator or any vehicle and you don't know what makes up the modifications, you just look at it and go, ooh, that looks cool, you're probably asking for a world of hurt in the future. Because it's probably went with cheap products or with cheap components, and they're going to give you more frustration than you need. So unless I know who built it, what components they used, and all those details, not buying a used modified Gladiator. I'm not going to do it. Also, not going to buy a pre-modified vehicle from the dealer. Dealerships don't know squat about building Gladiators. They just don't. There's a couple exceptions. There are a couple exceptions out there in the world. But for the most part, your local Jeep dealership, they don't know jack about building a Gladiator. They're going to put subpar parts on it. They're not going to re-gear it if they put bigger tires on it. And they're going to way overcharge you for those parts. So if I'm buying a new Gladiator, I'm buying one stock so I can then modify it myself. So let's take a look here. If you are buying a Jeep and you are going to build like a serious hardcore rock crawler out of it, you're going to replace the axles, you're going to replace the transfer case, and probably put like a 2-stick Atlas in there. If you're gutting the Gladiator to build this, to build a hardcore mega rock crawler, just get a Sport. You just get the cheapest one you can find that's got the interior creature comforts you want. If it's leather, if it's cloth, if it's power windows, if it's manual windows, whatever. Get whatever interior creature comforts you want, and then just get a base model with the interior, because none of that stuff is going to matter. You're going to gut it all. Now, if you are going to build just a good, sensible off-roader, you don't necessarily need lockers. You just want a good, sensible off-roader. Sport S Max Tow. Get that Gladiator because of all the reasons I said previously. The basic Sport, it is just a bare bones basic Sport. There's nothing. There's no reason to get that unless you're gutting it and custom building your own rig. The Nighthawk edition. I do not understand this one. The Nighthawk is dumb. I apologize to those of you who may own Nighthawks, but this is a dumb model. It comes with 20-inch wheels, which I've already made a video on things to stop doing to your Jeeps, and putting 20-inch or bigger wheels on them is one of them. But it comes with 20-inch wheels. It does come with the wide track axles, but it doesn't come with 410 gears. You can get a painted hardtop, yay. But the Nighthawk just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't have so many things that it should have with the Nighthawk. So I don't know why Jeep even offers that. It's a Sport with 20-inch wheels. It's the Sport S with 20-inch wheels. The Sport S we've already covered. It is the best of the base models. The Willis. Again, I don't understand this one. You can get a locker. You can get a rear locker in the Willis, but you can't get the wider track axles, and you also can't get 410 gears. So you get a narrow axle, not 410 gears. Oh, but you get a locker. Why? You get a black grill. You get a black front grill. So, yay for that. I don't understand the Willis either. Of the base models, the only one here worth my time is the Sport S with the Max Tow package. That's it. You can get it whatever interior options you want. Comes with limited slip rear differential. Comes with a bigger alternator. So if you are going to build out an overlanding rig, you've got the alternator to be able to, throw in a DC-DC charger and a couple aux batteries to charge those. You're good. Run a winch, all that sort of stuff. It's got that. The Nighthawk and the Willis, they don't come with the higher amp alternator either. So anyway, Sport S Max Tow. If you're just building a basic Gladiator just mild off-roading, go with that. That's what I would go with. It is a solid Jeep platform. I love the features that it comes with. It has the highest tow rating of any of them at 7,650 pounds, 7,650, 7,640, I think 7,650. But as the owner of a Gladiator, you do not want to pull anywhere close to that amount with the Gladiator. It's just, it's not fun. But I mean, a good solid off-road trailer, 4,000 pounds and whatnot, that's going to pull it no problem, and you're going to have a blast in it. I think. Let me interject here and just remind you, the More Expo is coming up mid-April. There is a link and a discount code in the description. If you have not purchased your tickets yet for the More Expo, that discount code works for entry into the expo, camping, VIP. I mean, all the options for your tickets. The discount code will discount all that. And for us, all the proceeds that we would make from that affiliate link, we are donating to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. We're not keeping that money. We're just passing it along. We don't even touch the money. We just tell Chris, who does the More Expo, just give our money to NCMEC, because they are one of the sponsors of the More Expo. They are involved in the storyteller area of the More Expo, and we want to help that cause. And so if you buy with our link, you use our discount, all the money that we would get goes to NCMEC. So you help, you get a discount and you help a great cause. And we'll see you there. Now let's get over to to the Mojave and the Rubicons, and both of them come in an X version, the Mojave X, the Rubicon X. I'll get into that. And here's where I'm gonna upset some people. I think the Mojave, for a stock Gladiator platform, I think the Mojave is the most incredible model of the Gladiator that you can buy if you're going to keep it stock. Because you buy a Mojave because of the suspension. The suspension on the Mojave is dialed and tuned and has amazing shocks. It is the most comfortable off the lot of all the Gladiators. It can rip through the desert at high speeds. That's what it's designed to do. Do not buy a Mojave if your desire is to lift it and go 37s and, you know, put the bigger tires on it and try to turn it into a rock crawler. Or just turn it into some big off-road beast. I see so many people in the Jeep forums and Facebook groups posting about buying a Mojave and then putting some garbage lift on it. Like, why did you buy a Mojave if you're going to pull out the most important thing that makes it a Mojave? I mean, yeah, the Mojave has great seats. It has the best seats of the bunch. It has a cool hood. Probably has the coolest hood of the bunch. It has a reinforced frame. Woo, big deal. The reinforced frame, nobody's breaking frames on Gladiators. So reinforced frame, so. It does have cast iron knuckles, which I really think they should have put on the Rubicons. I really think they should have put on the Rubicons the cast iron knuckles instead of the aluminum knuckles. But the Mojave does have cast iron knuckles. It has all that stuff because it is designed to go fast in the desert. That's what its purpose built for. The Mojave is the vehicle that won the Rebel Rally. Bone stock Mojave did exactly what it's designed to do, go fast in the desert, and it won the Rebel Rally in 2024. Fantastic machine. But why are you buying a Mojave if you're going to rip out the thing that makes it a Mojave? So I think a Mojave, you can put 35-inch tires on a Mojave and be done. You can just put 35s on a Mojave and be done. It's got the 410 gears that'll handle the 35s just fine. That's what you do. You get a Mojave, you put 35s on it, you get a little bit taller stance. The Mojave already comes a little bit taller than the Rubicon. I mean, it's the tallest of the Gladiator stock, but you buy a Mojave for the suspension. And if you think you're going to buy a Mojave and maintain that ride with an inexpensive lift, you are wrong. You will to lift a Mojave and get the same amount of suspension performance, you are going to have to put a high dollar lift and shocks on a Mojave to come close to getting what you get with the stock suspension. I know people who put the just a spacer lift and shock extensions. I think that's dumb because you put shock extensions on it. You're keeping the factory shocks and you are keeping the ride. But when you're going off road, you don't gain any articulation in that. None with shock extensions. It's just an inferior way to modify an incredible Gladiator. So there's my rant. Go ahead, blast me in the comments because your Mojave with the rough country lift is just the best thing since sliced bread. Okay. Now, the Rubicon, obviously, I mean, we've got two. It is hands down the best off-road Gladiator you can buy. Front and rear lockers. The 4-to-1 transfer case is why you buy a Rubicon. And the front and rear lockers. The push button disconnect sway bar, cool feature. I've had mine for 112,000 miles, not a single issue with it. The JT sway bar disconnects are so much better than the JKs. Mine has held up for 112,000 miles, which I did not think it was going to do. I'm totally impressed buy that. So you get the front and rear lockers. You get the 4-to-1 transfer case, which in my opinion is why you buy your Rubicon, because that transfer case is friggin' amazing if you love rock crawling. You get the sway bar disconnect, and that's what. And you, for both the Mojave and the Rubicon, you get the Highline fender flares. And the Highline fender flares, hold on, let me show you. Hold please. So the Rubicon and the Mojave flares, they sit higher on the body. You get more tire clearance with the Rubicon and Mojave fender flares. No other Gladiator has the Highline flares. And so if you want to run larger tires, you can do so with less lift because the flares are higher and you have more space here. So that's a big advantage to the Mojaves and the Rubicons. Okay, so you buy a Rubicon because you want the most off-road capable Gladiator off the lot. You buy a Rubicon because yes, you're going to replace the suspension. You're going to lift it because the suspension that comes on a Rubicon, it's nothing special. It has red shocks. Ooh. I mean, they used to come with Fox shocks. Mine came with Fox shocks. Nah, they weren't great. I mean, they were better than the basic ones, I guess, but nothing special. So the suspension, nothing special on a Rubicon. You buy a Rubicon because yes, you're going to put a 3.5-inch lift on it. You're going to put 37s on it, and you're going to regear it. If you put 37s, you're going to regear it. Repeat after me. I will regear my Jeep with 37s. Okay, maybe if you bought a diesel, you don't have to. But if you have the 3.6, regear for 37s. And you're going to go wheel the crap out of that thing because it's the perfect out of the box, super simple to modify, put the bigger tires on it, and go crawl the heck out of that thing. Go off-road the heck out of that thing. And that's why we have Rubicons, because we're not bombing through the desert. We do prefer rock crawling as our, running technical trails. And we do use our lockers. And we're not going any bigger than the 38s that we have on our Gladiators. I'm not going to go to 40s because the 40 won't fit, the 40-inch spare won't fit under the bed. I can fit a 38 under the bed with my Clayton or Metal Cloak lift and their bent track bars. So yay for that. But I'm not going bigger than 38s. So if I were going 40s and then going to gut everything, then I'd probably go with a Sport Max Tow. If I was going with the Atlas transfer case. The Sport S Max Tow, if you're going to gut the transfer case. Rubicon, if you're going to keep the 4-to-1 transfer case. Yeah, that's the direction I would go. Okay, so now the X models. What's the deal with the Rubicon X and the Mojave X? They are roughly 10 grand base MSRP for an X versus a basic Rubicon or a basic Mojave. They get you color matched flares and hardtop. They get you the steel winch capable bumper in the front, the steel rear bumper. The steel bumper group comes standard with the X. And I mean, really, that's it. All the options for the Rubicon and Mojaves just come standard on the X. So if you want a fully loaded Rubicon, then you get the X. Unless you don't care about painted fenders, then you can get everything else on a Rubicon optioned out. So really, you can get everything on a Rubicon that you can get on an X by optioning it out, except for the color matched flares. That is exclusive to the X. Color matched flares and tops is the X versus the standard. So if you like the color matched flares, then you're going to have to buy an X. If you don't care about those, then you can buy a regular Rubicon, put all the other options on it, and have the exact same vehicle. So yeah, there you go. I love the Gladiator. I think it is the most incredible mid-sized truck on the market. It is definitely the most incredible off-roader on the market, especially if you're going to modify it. It is a fantastic truck. It is the only mid-size truck you can buy with a solid front axle, which to me is huge, and that's why it's so amazing off-road. I hope this was helpful. I just see a lot of questions about which Gladiators. I see people purchasing Gladiators and then not knowing what they're getting, and so it just motivated me to come make a video and help with your purchasing decisions. So anyway, if it was helpful and you did find it helpful, give the video a like, please. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Consider supporting the channel. Patreon link is in the description. You gain access to special content, special events, all of our GPS data from our trips, and for all of our merchandise, go to shopoverlandapparel.com. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.